Hey y'all, Rocky Durham, Chef Ambassador for the New Mexico Department of Agriculture at your service. Today we're going to be making some holiday dishes, or dishes that can utilize some, holiday leftovers. What we're doing today is something that I like to call a red chili and sweet potato beef stew. We build stews the way we build stew. One thing I love about a stew is it's a difficult dish to mess up. You get your ingredients into a pot, you get some liquid in there, simmer it for as long as you can possibly stand it, serve and enjoy. But I thought what might be helpful for y'all today is to show you the proper way to cut an onion. So I call this next thing Chef Rocky's famous onion trick, all right? So, and of course, always use New Mexico produce whenever possible, because that's really the exercise here. Support New Mexico agriculture. Keep that hard-earned revenue here in the state. Support your friends and neighbors. New Mexican onion, all right? One thing we know about onions is they have a root end, all right, and a flower or blossom end, all right? What we're gonna do first is we're gonna remove the flower end. And the reason that we do this is just kind of the papery, kind of woody, dry part of the onion that we're not going to use. You can save that to make some chicken stock with or something like that, all right? Set that to the side. The second reason why we cut that off is that now we have a flat spot from which to work. So my onion's not rolling all over my cutting board. I don't have to chase it around with my knife, all right? This next bit is key. Leave the root end on, okay? Leaving the root end on, we're going to cut directly through the onion. And then what we're going to do is just remove the dry outer skin, all right, get down to the nice, moist part of the onion, if you will. All right, we'll get rid of those. All right, and now one thing that we know about an onion is that they're made up of these concentric rings. So these are basically cuts that nature already made for us, all right? So we're going to use those to, I like to maximize my laziness to minimize my effort. So using these concentric rings, all right, understanding how the onion's put together, basically, it makes it easier to take it apart. So with the root end facing away from you, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a series of cuts down towards the center of the onion as if we were following the spokes of a bicycle. Okay, so this onion is the bicycle's hub, and we're just gonna follow those spokes with our knife, all right? Down towards the center of the onion, all right? Now, one of the reasons why we've left this root end on is this is still one piece of onion, all right? So this is like holding it together. It's like a little extra set of hands holding that onion together, all right? Then what we're gonna do is just cut perpendicular to those cuts that we already made, all right? And it's just a real simple, uniform dice of onion that is produced. And we have this little piece here for our stock. Now, let's say you wanted a julienne of onion. You didn't want a dice of onion. We're still gonna follow those imaginary spokes down towards the center of the onion. But since we're only cutting it once, we don't need our little root end to hold it together. So we'll just start cutting. And when we're doing this part, when I get about halfway through, rather than having to cut around this way, I just flip that onion over again. And there you go. A uniform dice and julienne of onion. We're gonna start building this red chili stew here. Now, I think really the one key thing about we're gonna be doing a beef stew here is we wanna get that meat really nice and brown. So I've got a hot pan here, and I'm adding a little bit of olive oil. This is a New Mexican green chili infused olive oil. I just couldn't resist, all right? And I can tell that it's nice and hot by the way the oil is swirling around the bottom of the pan, and this is the real test. That's the sound you wanna hear. All right, we're gonna season this with salt, fresh ground black pepper, and New Mexican red chili powder, all right? Don't stir it too much or it'll never brown. You wanna let that meat come in contact with the pan, because that's where the browning is taking place. If you keep moving it around too much, it's never gonna brown. It'll just get kind of like gray. So resist the urge to stir. Let it brown a little bit. Stir it once, leave it alone, let it brown some more. This will take like maybe 8 to 10 minutes.